we're going to be talking motorcycles with Andres. He's considering entering the world of the two wheels. So this should be an interesting talk. We got our coffee. He's not a cigar smoker, so I'm not really going to talk cigars right now. But you know what? We don't always talk cigars. We're going to talk motorcycles. Go Knowles. There we go. I was just about to say good morning. Is it still morning?
It is morning.
It's still morning.
It should be morning.
Is there a time? It's 12:30. It's good afternoon.
It's morning for us.
It's morning for us. Just coffee. Still having coffee. So you alluded to the fact that you're considering entering the world of two wheels.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to do with a motorcycle?
To be honest, sort of like be able to like take my bike and ride to like decompress from the week, something like that.
Zen riding.
Yes.
Okay. What style of bike do you like?
I was really looking into cruisers.
Cruisers?
Yes.
And your definition of a cruiser is?
I think what you have right now it's a tour bike, right?
That's a touring bike.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the one that's in the screen. That's a chopper.
Chopper.
That's not a touring bike. Yes, it's actually a bagger.
Mm-hmm.
Bagger touring bike. It's the 2015 Harley Road Glide Special, and it's got the bells and the whistles. It's made for long hauls and comfort. A cruiser. All right. So what do you have an eye on for a cruiser, or have you looked at all yet?
I was looking mostly at Honda.
Honda.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
it was Honda stuff, something.
Scooby's bike is a Honda. It's a Honda Aero 750 CT. I think it's VT 750C. That's way too small for you. A larger Honda would be good. I had the F6B, which it's now replaced once again by what it really is, and that's a Goldwing, stripped down. And the stripped down version, it's still a bagger because they're built-in baggers, but I consider that more of a cruiser. The good thing is, if you felt like going for a really long ride on it, it's got all the comfort in the world. But there's a lot of models in between that. Were you looking at anyone in particular?
Well, I'm just starting to learn about it. Because I've
Okay.
always wanted to own a bike, but I never knew exactly where to start.
Education.
Mm-hmm.
That's the start. Go get trained. It doesn't matter that it's the place I would be recommending happens to be at a Harley place, but there's zero pressure for you to get on a Harley or own a Harley.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching staff there is all about safety and education. I recommend that there for a couple reasons. I've heard very good things, and I am now friends with one of the coaches that's there. And man, getting on the inside of the circle on how it really is. I sit there in his office having coffee and chatting about his classes, and man, they care for the students. They want to make sure that you really have learned, because yes, their reputation is on the line, but your safety's on the line, and you really do learn a lot at those classes. You really need to get the education first. The reality is, here in Florida, you have to take the course to get the endorsement on it. It used to be you could just take a little class and go around some cones and stop, and oh yeah, you're a motorcycle rider. No, come on.
Yeah, that's something that I don't
So
want.
education,
I actually want to
first
learn
place to start.
proper riding.
And you don't need a bike. You don't have to own a bike. They'll supply the bikes, and you'll learn on their bikes, and you'll get an idea of this. Hey, is this for me or not? Because those classes also, to use the term, weed out the people that are really not bikers. They think, oh, they want to ride. They can't master it for whatever reason. Sometimes it's fear. They feel like, oh, I'm wide open, which you are. It's a different mindset. The safety, you have to ride like everyone is out to get you, like nobody sees you, because that's the truth. They don't really see you. They're not looking for you. So you have to be aware of, watching now their mirrors. You want to see their eyes. The term loud pipes save lives. It's not loud, obnoxious pipes. It's audible pipes. When you're in a car, which are made for silence now, they're really insulated. and you hear that little rumble of a motorcycle. As a rider, all I look for is the person just to give me one of these, like that subliminal acknowledgement that they know I'm there. They don't even know they're acknowledging me, but that tells me they hear it. Or they look in their, oh yeah, there's a bike behind. That's all I need. Now at least I know, okay, I'm in their mind, and that's usually it. That's the end of it. So at least now they know you're there, and they're not going to just make that turn because, hopefully, because you're there. And then I get past them. I try to get ahead of every car out there. Doesn't mean I speed. I just get ahead of a group or give myself a really good barrier. Again, this is the stuff they teach you in these classes as well. So, and your other half, my daughter, is cool with that. Would she want to get on the back and go somewhere with you?
She didn't mention anything.
She didn't mention that, yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's supportive of the fact that, you know, I want to own it for recreational purposes.
Cool. That's cool. And the interesting part is, for where you work, I ride past there all the time to go to the Harley dealership.
Yes.
With, you know, recreation in mind. I don't have a schedule in mind, but from where you live to there, you in fact could use it as your way to get to work. Certainly you can choose not on rainy days if you don't want to because you have a car. You just have to remember that, oh yeah, it wasn't a rainy morning, but look, it's a shitty afternoon now. I'm getting wet going home. Oh well, luckily it's a bagger and I have a rain suit in there. Or what I call a portable sweat hut.
Portable sweat.
Yeah, that's what they are. I think I'd rather be wet from the cool rain than wet, keeping the rain off, and you just sweat so much. You get home, you go, what the hell?
It's like your body rain.
It's a portable sweat hut. So cool. I could help you with as far as beating coach over there and finding out the requirements for the class if you haven't already. You don't need me. I know you don't need me. So you can figure that out. But I'm here to help if you want. So tell me some other thoughts about the motorcycle. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Yeah.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about it since well before I arrived to the U.S. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when I used to live in Cali, I wanted to buy a motorcycle. I got turned off to the idea because people in Colombia, they don't drive safely. They're just zipping around the
On
lanes.
motorcycles or cars?
Both
as well?
motorcycles
Everything.
and cars. So it's not a
So you mean it's like Miami?
sort of, yeah, basically.
Oh, that should be no problem.
But you know, I got turned off to the idea because I was like, okay, well, I'm of driving age, but I'm underage there, so I don't want to.
How old were you when you?
When I started thinking about this, it was when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm underage, so you know, if something happens to me, then my parents have to carry with
Right.
the whatever happens,
Right.
and hospital and whatnot. So fast forward to when I arrived here, I've always wanted to own one, but never had like the ability to sit down and really think about it. Like, okay, let me just think what I
Okay.
want to do with it.
Right.
Do I just want to own a motorcycle just to own a motorcycle, or do I want to own a motorcycle to actually use it and
Right.
you know, enjoy it?
Right.
And I would say like maybe a couple months ago, I started like having those thoughts of like, yes, this is why I want to own a motorcycle.
No influence from me though, right?
No, not at all.
No pressure.
Not at all.
I actually never talked to you about it. But at least you know in the background.
I mean, you
there's
did
some,
show me
there's some
about the cool
family
things.
support.
Yeah.
As far as education and yeah, don't do this or we'll help you do that or ideas, but yeah,
I mean, besides
we're not anti-motorcycle.
besides you showing me like the cool things that you've done to your to your motorcycles and stuff, I never felt like any influence on whether I should have one or not. I just thought
Right.
that it was like cool to be able to just go out on like a day like today that is sunny and
Oh, I
stuff,
know.
and
I'm
that is
gonna-
windy. It's cool, you know. It's really
More
a nice
more
day for,
than that is the lack of humidity. It's like,
That's it.
Everything just doesn't stick to you.
yeah. So,
So-
you know, I always thought like, you know, it's cool to just go out on a motorcycle and, you know, maybe go to a bar by the beach and
Right.
just enjoy a couple of drinks, enjoy the beach, and then drive
And that's
back.
what a cruiser is good for.
Mhm.
You know, we live 15 or so miles from the beach, or 12 miles from the coast, and yeah, to have a big, if you're not going to ride all over the place, Sturgis or long treks, an investment in a big bike, it's more money.
Yeah.
So especially if it's going to be your first bike,
Mm-hmm.
You'll most likely get the bike that's not going to be your long-term bike. Not definitely, but you're going to say, oh, you know what I like doing, or we find ourselves we're going to Orlando, or I met up with some friends at the beach, and next week they're going to the Keys, and you're on this little rinky-dink thing, no bags and nothing. And I was like, I wish I had.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say those things, that's when you enter the, oh, you know what I should put on my bike? Because that is the 11th commandment. Thou shall not ride stock. I need this. I need shiny this, or I need blacked out that, or I need bags. So if your initial bike doesn't have bags, like a Dyna Wide Glide or something like that, you're a big guy, so that may be a small bike. Even though it's not a small bike, it could be for you. But let's say that's your first bike. You buy a nice used one, and you know what? Yeah, it's not a bagger. Until you throw bags on it. You can get the nice bags, the leather soft bags that are not a lot of money compared to other things. And then you start outfitting it a little bit, understanding you may never get that money back. A little.
Note
But
to self.
then you find that, okay, so this is, after, I'll say a year, but maybe after 20,000 miles, whatever that might take, 10,000 miles, you realize I do a lot more different things with this bike than I thought of. Or, you know what, this is the perfect bike. All we do is we go back and forth to the beach and we go up and down a little bit. This is perfect. So that's why I say start with not a smaller bike, a less expensive bike, and
Yeah.
a used bike. Because
A used bike?
everybody's dropped. Yeah. You know what? Until you really master the bike,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to wind up on its side once or twice, just by shit happening. You're learning the roads. Oh, I didn't realize I was taking it so you scratch an engine guard. It happens. Every one of these bikes have been on the side at one time. Not an accident, not a wreck, a scratch. So hell, my bag actually, I didn't connect it properly. Did I tell you about that down the road over here?
Oh no.
I'm going down one morning, meeting up with somebody, and I had fixed my bag and stuff, and I go down the road and I slow down, and my bag just passes me. It's like, what the hell? It fell off. That's when I learned the clips on the Harley bags. Like, oh, it's got a snap. Okay. That was Dyna Wide Glide versus any other bike as far as, you'll shop. That happens to be a Harley. Dyna, I'm just picking the Honda bike that could be good for you is like the Interstate VTX 1300. That's a little bit older bike, but you know what? They're cheaper now. Even the 1800 for you, because again, you're a big guy. How tall are you?
6'3".
6 lots. Okay.
6 too much.
Yeah. So VTX 1300 to start. It's like me hopping on that Mary's bike. It's like you're pedaling a big wheel. Feels great sitting there, but then you ride it, you're like, oh, just. So you want to be comfortable in a bike. Comfort is very important. So, because then you just become part of the bike. So, yeah, the Interstate, the VTX, probably the 1300. I forget how the size of those. I fit on it okay. Danny had the 1800, Batman. So that was big. It was a big bike, but I wasn't used to that big bike. It was more like this bike. I think this bike's actually a little bit bigger than that. So, but the key is they're not an expensive entry bike. You can find them. They don't make the VTX model anymore, that line. So the ones that are out there are used. Again, as long as it's running, Hondas are great. Hondas are not going to stop. We've done nothing on Scooby's bike other than because it sat, I had to replace the tank.
Yeah.
My bad. Not, oh, it's a Honda thing. No, my bad, I didn't take care of it. Batteries every 2 years regardless. Like, put it in your calendar. 2 years come, it doesn't matter if it starts. Get rid of it. It'll leave you on the side of the road. You get a brand new one in there, it's not going to leave you on the side of the road.
Gotcha.
And again, it's not a Honda thing. That's a maintenance thing.
Maintenance thing.
New
Okay.
bike. I mean, new battery.
New battery.
The tires, you just watch. I like sticky tires because of our roads down here with the afternoon rain, and it's going to happen. You're going to be riding in the rain unexpectedly. Sticky tires, you don't get as many miles out, but every mile of those tires, you won't be sliding through the intersections. Doc had me change my tires out. He didn't like them. They were the Harley Dunlops. Great tire. You get 20,000 miles out of them. It's like, but don't slam on the brakes because they're hard, and then it's gonna skid across. And not do the thing you really want a tire to do, and that's hold the road. So, especially with this one, with the long track. Yeah. So, I mean, they're a good tire. They're not the best tire for the design. We live in a wet environment.
Right.
Or an environment that's probably going to be wet. Mm-hmm. Midwest, dry most of the time, Dunlops are awesome. They're great. So, anyway, it's a regional thing, not putting down Dunlops. So, I do like the Avon. Not a sponsor. So.
Hashtag not an ad.
Not a what?
Not an ad.
Not an ad?
Yeah.
Okay, hashtag not an ad. All right, I gotta learn these things. He's also my tech guru. So.
How do I turn on this?
It's the button. Oh. Right.
So what are the things that you need to do for this tractor?
Well, actually, yesterday I cleaned the carburetor. Everything that's shining on it now is the stuff that I touched. So I took off the carburetor. The battery there is the old battery. Doc marked the time on that, or when he changed it. 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, it's no wonder it doesn't hold the charge. The tank is off over there. I've shaken it out and gotten some of the spooge out of it. And I got to add oil because this bike, when it stops dripping, you're out of oil. That's like some of the older Harleys. You know, it leaks oil. Of course it does. It has it in it. Does it ever stop? Yes, when it's empty. So, yeah, I'm going to put new, because I don't have to change the oil. There's no oil in it. But I will change the filter, because that's got some time on it.
You see, it doesn't have whistles, but it does have bells.
It does have bells. Well, that's the Gremlin bell. Yep, and that has to be a gift. The Gremlin bell. The story behind that is, yes, it's nice and close to the ground, because that's where the gremlins hop on your bike and mess things up. So it keeps the road gremlins away from your bike. It has to be gifted to you. You don't buy your own bell and put it on. The gremlins know, apparently. So that was the 883 Sportster originally. It was Scooby's bike. She wrecked on it, and I wouldn't let her get back on, so we chopped it out. Doc made it a kick-ass 1200, and it is a kick-ass 1200. Lots of compression. He put the, let me see if I can get this right. Wiseco pistons, Buell Thunderstorm heads. It's got lots of compression, and it sounds loud. Those pipes used to always be like this, chrome, on the other, the 883. No matter what, I could going. 1200, they got a little hotter, like lots hotter. So I thought that was great. The first time I did, it's like, oh my God, they're burning up. I said, no, it's fine. That's the engine's supposed to be that hot. It's like, okay. So
this is a nice searing temperature.
yes, but it's a small, skinny engine,
right?
And your legs are out there. You actually, I don't feel the heat. I feel more heat from that big bike than I do with this. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, these are air-cooled engines.
Okay.
This out in the air. There's nothing around that.
Right.
Even that one. There's a lot of stuff around that engine. Even though they're exposed, not as exposed. So.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So this engine, this is. I don't want to say it's never overheated. I've been in a couple of the parades where you're sitting and idling, because this does not have the cylinder bypass, but that one does. If you're idling, it'll turn off the rear cylinder, the one that's like right under the cojones, and it's still hot though, still real hot. Thank God that one is off, because then once you kick it in, then it'll the other one will engage, and then off you go, and then the air is flowing across the engine again. So this does not have that. This is an Evo. It's called the Evolution engine that Harley had back in the 90s. It's a classic. It's a classic. Instacart, one message. Okay, there we go. Interrupted by things, life, shopping, women. Not shopping for women. All right, so back to the idea of your bike, your future bike.
Yeah.
Education first. I might be able to get you a discount. That would be nice. What's your schedule for it? When?
So I was thinking like getting it done by the end of the year, maybe.
That's right, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So for next riding season,
Maybe.
because like in the rest of the United States, where you have 3 or so months that you can't ride due to weather, up there it's because of the cold and the snow.
Mhm.
Down here it's actually because of the heat and the rain.
Right.
You know, we do. Our group will ride regardless because we have a mission, but you know, no one in their right mind says, "Oh, it's 98 and it's going to rain. I should go on the bike."
Yeah, let me just go out and
Let's go.
get pelted by
Yeah.
by raindrops.
So, although a ride to the beach when it's hot is nice, the other thing which I will absolutely impress with you is you will not dress like that.
No.
You will
No,
dress
you
like
did.
this. Yeah.
Part of the reason why I started getting more interested is because, well, you owning bikes
Yeah.
and riding for quite some time, you have told me how is the proper attire for riding.
Yeah.
Like you've been telling me, when you go out to ride, you don't ride with shorts, you don't ride
Right.
with you know, just stuff that helps your leg breathe or whatever. You ride
don't
with
you
with-
don't dress for the beach.
exactly.
You dress for the crash.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, it's not a goal. We don't want to crash, but we're smart. We're educated.
It's Murphy's Law.
You have to assume
Whatever.
something could
Yeah.
happen.
Mhm.
Hell, it could be road debris. It's rocks. It's who knows.
Mhm.
And you know, granted, your jeans are not going to stop a bunch of rocks falling off the truck, but it's going to feel better than your legs that are open. And footwear. You know, you want to save your ankle if
Mhm.
you got to put your foot down. Something happens.
Yeah.
It's something that happens. You don't, you know, you can plan for as much as you can, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen. So you want to be prepared. Our two buddies, which were, you know, in a wreck,
Mhm.
he never rides with a helmet. And that day he happened to have a helmet on. It saved his life.
Mhm.
He has said, "I can't believe I've gotten away with this for so long." He says, "I'm never going to not ride with a helmet again." He says, "I'm also not going to dictate to anybody else because I never listen to people. I wanted to ride without it. I'm fine. I did it." He dodged the bullet, literally. And, you know, I also don't want to be preached to. I don't ride without a helmet. I don't like being told by the government I have to have a helmet. I think if you're smart enough, you're going to wear a helmet. It's like the seatbelt law.
Mhm.
They actually had to make it a law because people are so stupid, they don't strap themselves or their kids into a car.
Because they were thinking
Come
the
on.
airbag was going to do everything, but
Yeah.
no.
This is even pre-airbag. When, you know, I was starting, I mean, the airbags were new. And then they were killing people because it was like shooting me in the face with a 20, gauge shotgun. But anyway, no, but I'm smart enough to wear one. I choose to wear one. I choose to wear a helmet. I think that's like pro-choice. If you elect not to wear a helmet, that's your choice. I'm glad that you're considering, wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Get one that's comfortable. Get one that works. Hopefully, it also looks good because looks are the least of it. It's a helmet. Who looks good in a helmet? You know what you look in a helmet? You look alive in a helmet. So that's good. The safety gear. I have a mesh jacket that has the built-in elbow
The padding, yes.
padding, and not even padding. It's like ballistic material.
Yeah.
Starts from here to here because when you hit the ground, that's where you do.
Mhm.
Not back here. You can survive a scratch back here. That shoulders and the back thing. It's going to save you for some road rash. If it's a really traumatic thing, some guy runs a red light and hits you. It's like, well, it's a matter of be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware in the intersection. Look at the other vehicles around you. It's like that guy is susceptible. So you put yourself in a position where you can be safer either behind that vehicle or away from that vehicle because you can shoot up in there. Who is over here? Who is visiting? Oh, maybe it's my Instacart.
That is your.
I think it is. Maybe that was even saying, hey, that's the blink, blink, blink. I'm shopping now. This is shopping in this modern day and age. I'll be back. Okay, our food got here safely. We're going to be eating well now. Got some hurricane supplies. Order from Sam's. We get the cases of stuff because we need it for our pantry. And like last year, we had plenty of extra food, so I really didn't have to buy that stuff through most of the year. So, all right, so safety. The safety gear. Yeah, helmet, glasses. I see some of these people riding around. It's like, okay, you have no helmet. All right, but you have no glasses? You're a moron. You're an unexperienced rider. a bug,
Oh,
2
yeah.
or 3 bugs, some sand. It'll take you out. Now you're like this, trying to ride, or now you just stop and a guy behind you rolls you over. Glasses. Actually, they're the most important thing. Glasses. Next,
Well, you have
jeans
the
and
advantage
footwear.
of having like some sort of like windshield situation.
That doesn't. It's not glasses. I
Oh,
can
it
still.
doesn't
I've
have-
had dust get
okay.
behind my glasses.
Oh, wow.
No. And now, if you have a full face helmet with a drop down shield, yes, that's your eye protection. The dust isn't going to get inside. It's really about the dust. So, yeah, having the right gear. There's an acronym, ATGAT. All the gear, all the time. ATGAT. It's just think about it. If you're ever thinking about getting on your bike, I have sneakers. I'm just going up the road. I don't feel like putting my boots on. All the gear, all the time. If you're just thinking of going,
if
drive
that's the
the
case,
car.
you start in the car.
Drive
yeah.
the car.
Yeah, it's safer.
Yep. Oh, I don't want to get all this stuff on. Good, drive the car.
Yep.
Put your car on.
Yeah.
Yep. So, well, we touched the subject of entering the world of 2 wheels. We will have Andres back later in the season. See how the education is going, and go bike shopping. That'll be fun. I have enough people in the bike industry that we'll get him a nice ride that he likes. When I say we're going to get him, he can get himself. I'm not getting it for him. So, all right, well, if you like this, subscribe, like, share.